Hello everyone and welcome back to Pacheco Streams. Happy Mondays. How are you all doing? Today we will be continuing with this dude. And I'm gonna play around a little bit with fixed and automatic focus to make your viewing experience a little bit more bearable than what it usually is. So, actually let's give that a try. So when I have the miniature up close and I'll be doing stuff to it, I'll be switching to the fixed focus. And whenever there's nothing currently on the side, I'll just bring it back to automatic. Let's see if it's too much of a hassle to maintain. I'll probably be forgetting this every now and again, so do correct me if it gets too much. Part of that, I will also restart recording the streams and uploading them on YouTube just for the hell of it. Also, you may notice that I'm streaming on under a new category. Well, very old category, but I haven't tried streaming through the Warhammer category. If that brings more people in or not, it's worth a try. I generally dislike the Warhammer category because I am rarely, if ever, painting actual Warhammer stuff. Maybe things that have some conversion bits from Warhammer and 40k, but it is the more popular tag compared to art. So let's see how that goes. Since I'm using Pretzel, I doubt there will be any musical issues in terms of censorship. Well, censorship, copywriting on YouTube, but we'll see. There's a YouTube friendly version for Pretzel. I'm not currently running that, so we can have a little bit more of a robust playlist, but we'll see. Right on. So, what's on the menu today? Well, the red. And before that, however, I would like to reinforce the letter fragments a little bit because they ended up not being as reddish as I would have initially wanted them to be, and they are melding with, blending in with the flesh where they are in contact with it, so I would like to emphasize a little bit more on the separation. So let's just give them another run of wash and go from there. So we're going with the Carolwork Crimson, which, yeah, this is gonna be fun having and yep, that's what I'm using. And also a little bit of Lamian medium. These washes are now fairly old and they are starting to goop up very quickly, even on the wet palette. So let's. We got water, Lamian medium. Make a nice goop. Black and introduce the to it. Make it run a little bit better, and now we are moved into focus again. So you can actually doing pretty much the only thing that's left is to somehow mitigate the fact that the light I'm using completely blows out my face. But quite honestly, this mug really isn't anything worth watching, so definitely not too high on the priorities right now. If you have any ideas though, I am more than willing and actually very appreciative to hear you out. Thing is, what I probably need to do is get some more backlights to compensate for the overall lighting in the room, but I honestly cannot be bothered to go that far. I don't intend on turning my living room into a video studio anyway. But you never know. Another reason why I would like to steer away from extensive use of washes. Though, for the time being, it will have to do. A bit more medium. Perhaps. We'll insist. Probably one of those times where I should have switched the focus, but this is me forgetting that as usual. I'm just starting out, so usual has not yet my drift. Keeping the model frame while I'm more paint. I don't really know at this point anymore. Kinda exhausting the options that I could think of to make this a more appealing experience for viewing. But even if I discontinue this, I still want to be sure that I did everything that I could have thought of, and that wouldn't place me into a situation where it would be more of a hassle to make effective. Do give me a moment to feel like I'm throwing shadows. Be any. What's that? Better? Can't tell. Yeah, it should go. I think that worse. Can get it. All right, moving on. Any more lettery bits that I'm missing? Possibly, but as I can do. Well, that's better. This is going to take some getting used to. Most of the paints and things I use are on my left side. And I've gotten used to keeping the paintbrush in my right hand while I search for paints and whatnot. So going for the mouse every time is going to be a little bit of a ish. But we'll see, maybe there is a way that it doesn't. So let's just lay out the colors that will be used. Today we have Pluto, the piston red, at Wazdaka red, the first highlight, and Evilson Scarlet, and go for Wild Rider red. It's kind of an orange. Did we go too far? I think so. Yeah, we won't need a Wazdaka. Yeah, that's. Then to bring things down into the red spectrum, transparent red from Pro Acryl. Okay, let's prepare for this. I keep my cigarettes out of. Maybe. Probably for the best. Ashtray isn't lovely. Okay, that'll be. So what have you all been up to over the weekend? Have you had some time for do hobby stuff or some other fun activities? Just possibly socializing or something. That is a valid alternative. Meanwhile, on the roadmap for the hobby stuff, we need to finish up this guy, which this wee little dude. Get him to focus. Okay, okay. So the dude that we're currently working on, this will be his last week of streaming, so I'll get him as far as I can on stream and finish him up off stream, so we can go over to the leader of the gang, who is the last model that I've put together for the time being. Depending on whether or not I can get some extra time in to prep him additionally, we might get a couple of weeks out of him. Stream time, and then we will be going back to some building streams, which is part of the reason why I'm playing around with the focus. Maybe give myself a little bit more volume. How's that? How's that for starters? Yeah. Really max it out? Is the mic so far away? I would suppose so. Well, okay. Oh, but now I'm peaking whenever I raise my voice even slightly. So I guess I gotta focus on maintaining a monotone voice. Hasn't been too hard so far, and I know that I am probably putting you all to sleep, but it's overall the mood that the whole hobby is putting me in, a little bit more mellow. Little calm. Pretty much the reason why I'm doing this, general anyway. Now maybe I need to punch up the music a little bit. Since this will be on YouTube, do tell me if any of the volumes are off. Like, can you make out the music in the background? I would like you to be able to listen to it because it is a lot of independent artists, and if it would be nice if I could make it so that you can actually hear them, and if you like them, you can go and support them any way that you might like to do. On the other hand, I do not want the music to completely overtake my voice. Not that I'm saying anything of extreme value or anything. Would be better if you could hear me as well without struggling. Even too much, but if you want to see what's going on the palette, let me see if I can accommodate this. Be making it easier to keep the model in frame. Same time. The issue here is that I am apparently turning very nearsighted. So playing around with the colors. Palette from a distance. Becoming a bit of a challenge. And I'm not ready to accept the fact that I need to get glass. So, okay, so I would like to make this more seamless, but let's see what we got. Whoa, that is a lot of water in the brush as well. Little color. You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I over-thinned the colors yet again. So this is what happens when I can't bury my face in the fucking palette. This guy will be a little bit weirder to pull off than the rest of the gang because of the position of his pose. As the majority of him is in the shadow. Making it a little bit weirder to work with. Meaning I'll probably need to have a darker red as a final highlight. Sadly. Which is problematic for the uniformity of the unit. I wanted to have very matching reds across the armor plates for all of the dudes. But we will now see how that whole thing works out for us. So I do need to build some color up after all. No idea where, how, how far to take it. I think I'm already making a huge mistake. Of the usual kind, of course, where I'm covering way too much of the shadowed area with color, which means that I'll have issues with creating contrast. And this is pretty much the extent of my current understanding, well, practical understanding. I know what I should be going for. I have a fairly hard time visualizing it in more detail on the miniature itself. And if you can't visualize it, well, you can't exactly represent it in the way that you'd like to. Oh, boo. Alright, move over to the other leg now. This will make it a bit difficult to deal with the other side of the foot. That is just specificity of the model. And even better, I feel my voice already starting to give out. Lovely. Made quite a few mistakes on this model already, and the rest of it isn't looking like it's gonna go particularly smoothly. Keep him in frame. This will be a hard habit to get into. How the hell do I? Okay. I'll probably do it. Back to the other side. I'd like to go over here a little Here's a problem. This is preventing me from accessing that area. That'd be interesting. Trying to highlight across the areas. Well, there's actually very little surface. Deal with. Better than expected. Gonna keep the bottom completely in shadow. Okay, and now let's go over to the chest. So stupidly enough, the brightest red will be probably on the right knee, which completely messes with regular focal point. Yo, Agent Orange, hello. How are you doing? Oh, a new handle, nice. What's up? Yeah, I decided to switch up the categories, see if that helps. Haven't tried it, and I don't really like the category because it's not representative of necessarily. Oh, what did you do? What did you do? Alright, well. Why would you consider that a treason? Like, how bad is it? Yeah, I know. Along with good old Dota. You like it. The only game of that sort that I could sort of get into was Heroes of New Earth. Heroes of the Storm, sorry. Yeah, you're not the first person to say the exact same thing about it. I think it's fairly the general consensus of what you feel when you play these types of games. Oh, I forgot. I just gotta cut it out from one of the Space Marine sprues and glue it. But I'll do that when I'm dealing with the base. So why'd you change your handle in Twitch? So it matches the eyesight. If it matches the eyesight, it's gonna be outside of the base. Alright. It's just gonna be down. And I'm screwing this up all the way. The only thing that sort of comes out good for these models, and I managed to screw it up. Oh, right. Like, if it's flying into the into the line of sight. Nah, that's way too elaborate. I get the idea, but nah. Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. How'd your weekend go? Or was that when you went to the League of Legends? Oh, oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Did you get any interesting cases, or mostly the usual? Me, I was stuck after the, oh, I told you that we'd have a small reunion between schoolmates from elementary school. Thing is, I got super drunk, and the next day I had to spend like all of the day getting back to normal. And I'm a little pissed off at myself about it, because Honestly, there really wasn't any reason for that. Well, I was very hyped initially because of the reunion itself. But when I got there, it was a combination of boredom starting to overtake the hype and trying to force the hype. Sort of got a little bit out of hand. Nothing bad or anything, mind you, just it was just unnecessary. I mean, it wasn't that great of an experience to warrant that amount. But, nah, it happens. No biggie. Like I said, the only dumb thing was that it sort of took a whole day afterwards to get the hangover part out of the way. And nowadays, I'm not winning in time, so to speak. I sort of value my time a little bit more than I used to. But whatever, these reunions are about once a year, so you could make the argument that sure, why not? Apart from that, nothing really. Had a few walks. Fairly uneventful. Tried to socialize a little bit, but didn't really find anyone. Also, Saturday there was a huge storm. Saturday night. Which made going out fairly hard. The new cast chosen? What? I missed that. What happened? What did they change? What? Is it in the Blood Bowl community group? The leak? Oh boy. Yeah, understandable. Why though? Why would they get a choice for that? Like, what would be the justification for this? Just can't think of it. Also, Chaos rarely uses any big guys at all. The justification that would allow them to choose a big guy. Yeah. Like, would you even take a big guy on a Chaos team? On a Chaos Chosen, that is, not Pact. Yeah. Chaos Trolls, yeah. I wonder if with the new edition, the different trolls will be different. I mean, it's not just the mutation access that'll change, and they will have actual other skill changes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. A more something with a little bit more armor value, as opposed to the fairly easy to break Mino. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they puke. I did see that in the stat line. That's gonna be weird. Okay, I think we are done with this. Yeah, let me see if the whole team was leaked. That's kind of interesting. All right. Oh, there they are. Okay, take a look. Oh, we got Beastmen, Blockers, Troll, Ogre, Minotaur. I'm not seeing it. But yeah, considering that there are big guys, maybe it should have like a goblin or something. Beastman, runner, lineman. Like what? Why would you? Mutations on a normal, yeah. I'm sorry, as a primary. Chosen blockers. Alright. GMS. Okay. Chaos chosen team may include a single big guy chosen from among the following. Well, that's from 5 hours ago, so probably a bit more recent. I don't know. So we get a troll or a loner on a 4+. 4-5-5, 5-5-5, 5+, 4+, 10+, and Mino is 9. So only the Mino cannot play with the ball, it would seem. The rest have a passing ability. Number. Mighty Blow +1, +1, +1. Projectile Vomit, yeah. Really stupid regeneration. Throw Teammate. Maybe it's because of the Throw Teammate. Although from... Yeah, exactly. Although from what I read, Throw Teammate will work in a different way. So it'll be its own skill. It's not gonna be as close to passing it as it used to be. Mighty Blow, Thick Skull, Throw Teammate, Frenzy Horns, Mighty Blow, Thick Skull, Unchanneled Fury. Is that supposed to be the wild animal alternative? Unchanneled Fury. Also, these special rules seem interesting. I'm noticing them for every team, but I haven't yet seen any description. Yeah. Special rules favored of, I can choose Chaos, Undivided, Corn Nurgle, or Slanesh, or Cinch. Wonder what bonuses they give. Oh, right, okay. Maybe. Oh. Ah, yeah, that would make sense. Star players would make sense. Tier 2. Tier 2? The tiering system is weird, the one that they're trying to implement. With humans moving into tier 1 and chaos into tier 2. Maybe there are less tiers. I haven't seen a tier 3 team yet. But I suppose they will have one. Maybe it's just gonna be 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I suppose that'll be the case. Yeah, probably. And prepare for the general confusion that'll happen when you start, when you have to compare tiering systems between the NAF and GW. That'll be fun. Because you always have to specify which tiering system are you using for this. And that is considering that there were multiple versions of the nav tiering system before, I think. Oh yeah, right. See what you mean. Familiar. 25k. Strength 1. Dodge, horns. So something like an imp. Stunty. Sure hands. And Titchy. Oh. Like a runt with horns and sure hands. And that's for 25k? 6 for the armor value. I don't know. Well, that's the thing though. I don't know how much of the changes they will implement. Because the reason we used the nav tiering system so far was because there was no other tiering system. And the nav tries to implement as much of the GW stuff as they can. Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a mess. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Still, I'm curious to see which changes they will adopt, which they will stop, and whether or not, like, do you think all of this will play into the Euro Bowl 2021? Or will it be following what has already been announced? Because I think they will implement it. Yeah, that's a valid argument. Yeah. And it has already been, the rule pack has already been disclosed, so it would be bad to switch it midway. Yeah, true, but I think that they're gonna go with a release date close to what it was for 2016. Because I've been thinking about it, and they actually released 2016 in late November, if I'm not mistaken. So if they do so for this, it'll give them more than 10 months before the actual tournament. It's gonna be crazy, that's for sure. Well, yeah. No, yeah, it's okay. I'm personally fine either way. I want to see what the craziness will bring. Yeah, thing is, unless they make up stat lines for teams that are not yet released or confirmed, especially adapting teams that were never official anyway, such as the Brits. And if they just straight out ban teams that are unofficial, it's gonna be a hell of a backlash. So yeah, you're right. It'll probably be the last tournament played in Old Edition. It's just gonna be too much of a commotion to counter it. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm just waxing lyrical right now, just stirring the pot. I have been seeing a lot of Bretonians being painted lately in the Blood Bowl community group. Which is... It's not bad, but it kind of puts a little bit more pressure on what I'm about to do, because there are a lot of great teams. Oh yeah, yeah. I really loved the ones that were converted from the Necromunda. Yeah. What was it? Like, what were they called? Oh, you know the ones I mean. The ones from the Redeemer, where the peasants are these guys, and some human team bits for catchers and throwers, although there aren't any in a Bretonian team, but they used human catchers. And also the Age of Sigmar Stormcast work out great for blitzers. So definitely some good ideas being thrown in there. Thankfully, not too many follow the green and yellow scheme, which is alright. We'll see how and if they will mesh well with the new edition. I don't see why not. So I don't think human ability will invalidate Brett's. Although I think that this is what GW is trying to do. Give a close enough alternative that you wouldn't want to use Brett's. I'm really fucking up these chest plates. Oh yeah, no, we've we have discussed this, so they are not good models. At least not in the way that they are. I would convert them, or at least like the feathers are going immediately are out of the question. But rules-wise, I don't know. Because I think that they are gunning after Brett's with this team. Oh yeah, no, I'm really not worried about the models. Like, whoever likes them can pick them up. It doesn't bother me. We've seen more than enough conversion options that make a team with such an idea look great. Like everything that we've talked about regarding Bretonnian's conversions applies perfectly to nobility. So you can just take any of those ideas and make some awesome models. I wonder what the third-party model makers will do in regards to this edition. Will they go for the new teams or not? Will they update their existing rosters wherever the rosters have been changed for the old teams? And there is a ton of things we are about to become witness to. It's a hell of a change. And it's not about the rules and stuff. That's fine. It's just that there are a lot of things connected in between, and that change will shake a lot of foundations. And I think that that is what most people are upset about. It's not exactly just the fact that they're changing the game. Like we talked about, most of the softwares and applications will need to change. A lot of external party products will need to change. Whether or not things will adapt, and also the thing that Clawpalmer, so Ammo, is raising as a concern is the fact that this will become a regular thing. So a 4-year life cycle per edition, if that happens, it's going to make this a very unstable situation. Oh yeah, the dwarves. I saw some discussions about the dwarves. It's gonna be weird, yeah. Do give me a moment though. I'm gonna take a little bit of a half stream break. I will be right back. Midstream, right? Half stream. You know what I mean. Sup? Yeah, Brawler is a very interesting skill, and what I find to be most interesting about it is that it uses a completely different mechanic to use. So re-rolling a specific result, because most of the skills up until now treated a certain result in a certain way, such as negate dodge or negate both down. And this is reroll both down. So I think this opens up a door that will introduce a lot of skills like this. Yeah, that thing. Maybe I misread the thing about stalling. Because the only thing that I actually saw about it was a certain kickoff result that brings up a different subtable of possible events, gives the chance for the crowd to throw a rock at a team that is stalling. But we don't get a description of stalling. And also, considering that it's a sub effect of a sub effect of a kickoff, it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't seem that impactful. But again, I think maybe I've misread this. And again, the fact that there is no definition to stalling. Or maybe there was. That the ball must move every turn or something. I don't know. Okay, so that is the definition of stalling. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, but the criteria that allows the triggering of the throw a rock, from what I read, it's an additional kickoff event that's Nuffle's prayers, and then you go into a subtable on which you also roll, and one of the results for these Nuffle's prayers is the possibility to throw a rock at a stalling player. So it's very unlikely to appear as an event unless they moved that to a solid rule to always be in effect. I'm not really sure. But it's still better than it would have been if they just made a rule that if you are in a scoring range without GFIs, you should definitely score. That would have been horrible. Maybe, yeah. That would make sense, yeah. Do you think that this will lead to a loss of identity for the teams? I saw in between the comments that they are trying to make all of the teams play somewhat the same. Do you think that there is a basis for this based on the information that we've received so far? And is it going to change um, the current categorization of teams, as in bash teams and pass teams, and, well, bash, agility, and hybrid? Or is it too soon to make such assumptions? Okay. Yeah, I'll probably completely skip the highlighting and just go for the knee. This knee, the other one will get treated as well. The sides, they catch nothing. And this little couple dots here. Either way, though, it is curious to see what will happen. I'm actually a little bit excited to see. The more information that comes out, the more it makes me think, and so far it's just fun. I do keep going in all directions, switching between excitement and frustration on the matter, but we'll see. this point, these highlights have completely lost any semblance of realism. But I don't care, it looks better with them. So I just realized that I will be mixing in some orange into the mix to bring the highest highlights up. This is a bit too dull for for a final highlight, so be amended. Probably one of those situations where I should have written down a recipe for the kind of red I'm going for, but bit late. Bit late to that party, I say. Still, let's see how much we can bring up these highlights with just multiple coats. Because I am going fairly thin. Going over same coat multiple times will add a little bit of extra saturation depending on how much it's actually thinned out, and I really have no idea. But I will go over the places where I think a little bit more intensity that will make things visually more appealing. As I've mentioned, any aspiration for realism has gone out the window at this point. But if I were to follow realism for this model in particular, would come out extremely boring, because the actual colors I want to be bright and saturated are currently in shadow due to the pose of the model, which would leave the entire miniature more boring and, well, less interesting than its counterparts. We don't want that. Not really, anyway. I'll be sacrificing common sense here for a more interesting result. I do prefer a more interesting model than a more realistic one. I'm just now noticing that the letter straps, for whatever reason, turned purple. Like, what the shit? Particularly the shoulder straps. Fucking odd. Is it too much Lamian medium in the wash? try and fix that real quick. Kinda looks bad. I think it is the wash going way too matte. Too flat as a finish. Let's just go over like this. See if we can sort of help them along. That's really bugging me. I don't know if it's the wash that is going bad, or that I'm experimenting way too much with how to apply it. Yeah, okay. Now it's going back to into the reds. Yeah, it's definitely the medium. It did not like that medium. Interesting. Just one more reason to move away from extensive washing. For future projects. I guess. Yeah, okay, that's sort of fixed, but now there's just too much wash. Kind of destroyed all of the things and stuff. Anyway. Two more steps to go, I think. Maybe 3 for the reds. Will be good to go. I think maybe 1 extra highlight will be enough in this case. I wouldn't need extensive edge highlighting for this guy. Oh shit, sorry, I forgot I am in autofocus. Sorry. Another hour and some change. we should be good to get what we have set out to do for today's stream. After we're done, all that's left are the metallics, and there are very few gold elements or yellow metallic elements, and a wee bit more work on the silver metallics, and then we are to be done with this guy, which is why I think that by Wednesday's stream will be the finishing touches. And then, as usual, probably I'll place the scratches, the armor off stream, and finish up the base and details like these, so you don't have to see one more stream with this guy, and then we can move on to the leader dude. And I've started thinking about colors, flesh colors for the rest of the dudes. Because there will be 4 more dudes, and I think I'll just pick out the colors that went somewhat better for the ones that already came out. And I will do some slight variations on them, see how that works out. Maybe blue with gray, or green with some gray, or just pure gray but with different grays. I don't know why I'm steering towards gray. Maybe because I want a fairly desaturated tone for the flesh, which I have been failing at very seriously because I am mostly relying on the washes to bring down the saturation, and that's not been working out great. So there is a part of me that just wants to stop washing the models from now on. But I'll see about that. Either way, once we get done with the leader dude, there will be some build streams where I'll make 4 more Goliaths, paint them up as well, and then it's off to the Bretonians. For some possibly invalidated Blood Bowl goodness. But I just cannot skip them. Like, they're built, they're primed, or even on bases, for Christ's sake. And they're just standing there all gray, taunting me. The rest of the models that I haven't built are sort of hidden away. So that I don't have to look at them actively. so I didn't burn out. Well, it's not exactly burnout, it's a different kind of feel where you are overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that you need to do and you lose focus. So it's not a moment where you don't want to paint anymore, which is what burnout would be. It's more like just being overwhelmed. So the less I have insight, the better I can approach each individual thing. Which leads me to the fact that I will most probably start just picking out one project at a time and build it up for as much as I can. This will, however, make the streams a little bit more boring as they will focus on pretty much the same thing every time, but it will probably improve my output and my overall experience with painting. So we'll see how that goes. But even saying that, I realize that I'm already talking about something that's multiple months into the future. Because let's take a quick estimate the time that the Goliath project will take, and I haven't changed this to manual, and you're seeing a lot of nothing. So this week we are finishing up with this dude. The next 2 weeks we'll be dealing with the leader. At least 2 weeks for the leader. And that makes 2 weeks after this one. Then who knows how much time to build the 4 other Goliaths. And then even if I do prep them up, it'll still be at least a couple weeks per model. So if we get 2 weeks per model for 4 models, that's 8 weeks. Which is a solid 2 months. On top of for the leader dude, so we are up to 10 weeks. Which is 2.5 months. And then we got the build, which is, I don't know, I forget how much time I spent per model when I was building these guys. but it wasn't quick, tell ya what. I think I can bring them down to possibly a model per stream or per day, and then including the off-stream time that I spend, and that would be another 2 weeks probably. So we are looking at a total of what, 12 weeks to complete this project, starting next week. And that is in case I am able to stream every time and work off stream on these guys as well. Which, well, there is life that is happening on the in between. But these are best case scenario. Estimates. Right, I think we're done with the highlight. Now I'm gonna smooth out some of the rough transitions, blending them down with the initial color. Then blend everything down with the transparent red, and we're done with these guys. But, well, with this particular detail of this particular guy. That being said, let's count down. So 2 weeks puts us at August 28th. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, October 9, 5, a third. Right, so November 6th. And we're August. So ideally, I'll be done with the Goliaths on November 6th. Or rather 8th, because the Sunday I do get some hobby time on. So essentially, nowhere near done. And then the breadths need to be done. When would they be done? Well, they have to be done by end of September at the September of next year, that is. I think that's manageable. I have 17 models. If I manage, well, 2 per month, that is. That will be 8 months, which will put us at somewhere around next July. If everything works out. Which is alright. Kind of. It went too dark. Oh yeah. Way too dark. Really fucked this up, didn't it? Oh well. I really want to pick up a single model, probably a larger scale one, and just really go to town on it, just to see what it is that I can do when I don't have to think about replicating the effects. Go to town. Unfortunately, as I already mentioned, the schedule, well, the supposed schedule, things are not looking very much the upward regarding free extra time to play around with that. Go down with more Mephiston red. Bring the overly shadowed parts up into the highlight. It is the ever dreaded back and forth. And I really want to outgrow, but I haven't. Okay, so we're mostly talking about this place here. That went way too dark, way too quick. I'm trying to cheat the system a little bit and go with a mid color, or a mid-tone for the glazing. It's gonna take a while. I'm still out of focus. I will be forgetting this every step of the way. Just waiting for that shit to dry so we can reapply. So I really bungled it up. You'd think that being the fifth one in a row, I would have gotten fairly used to what I'm doing. Apparently not. Is my answer to this. I think I went way too glazy. It's gonna take a day to build this all up. Let's pick it. The colors that are actually more transparent than they appear. They appear to go down real hard and bright and vibrant. When they dry, you see this really isn't the case. Bit hard to gauge, but still fairly good colors. frustrating me? Well, a little bit. I'm gonna be honest here. So that black spot here, really annoying. I knew this guy would come out janky. I still couldn't do anything about it. I think that's about it. I could play around for another hour, but I don't have time, and I do not really have the willpower to do so. So here is what is going to happen. I'm going to lay him down for a moment. My head straight itself out, and then moving into the final stage, which is transparent red. Gonna apply this again very glazily. I'll try and avoid the deepest shadows, and hopefully that'll restore some of the red as a feeling. Maybe smooth out some of the rougher positions to whatever point. And yeah. Then it's off to metallics, but that'll probably be on Thursday. Bullshit. On Wednesday. If I can get any additional time to work on them tomorrow, or whether I should start prepping the leader. He has some, especially the metallics, haven't been based. So I should attend to that before I bring him on stream. Well, it's this guy, so you can see him technically on stream. But you get my drift. Yeah, the Warhammer tag did not help. Maybe if I switch them out. Or alternate through weeks. 1 week, it's Warhammer, 1 week it's art. I don't even know how much of an influence that has at all. The more I think about it, people that would be in any way interested in painting models for board games, for actual play pieces, would probably go for Warhammer tag rather than art. That would probably be more for painting busts for larger scale models that are one-offs. Sort of stretch your skill set. Who knows? Who knows? Also, OBS did not apply half of the tags that I applied to the to the stream, which, as far as I understand, is a standard OBS quirk. Alright, let's get this done. Let's get it over with. Yeah. Mark a little bit of a progress curve. These are much more audible than just little pots that would appear. Ah, here, it doesn't register. Good. Much, but still. So, let's move into fixed focus mode. Click. Again, my perception now off because working with Citadel paints all day. So the pigment acryls will probably come off weird. Bit on the thick side. But again, these are mostly shadowed areas, so revive that. That last time I ended up over thinning, as I usually do. like to waste time with another coat, but we'll manage all there. On it as well. Now the most important part. Because of how much I thinned it, we'll start bringing up a little bit of a glossy finish, which will prevent me from seeing the actual. But that's all. Just gonna hope. Interesting. Here and there, I do get it right. Here and there, it just completely eludes me. I forgot. But what I forget, I'll tell you. I forgot the insides of the bracers. Really tricky, which is probably why I missed them. But as they are. All enough surface, I can just rough them up. None shall be the wiser. Especially if you don't tell anyone. And it seems I forgot the insides of these fingers. Or did I? I think I didn't. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Right on. I'm actually not even gonna color those and this. Okay, let's see. And I think that'll do it. It's fairly not horrible. We actually have some more time. Ooh, half an hour's worth. What can we do? I think just mosey on forward. So you'll get to see me fail at painting some extra scratches on this dude. Fair enough. How far we can go. And we'll need to brush for this little guy. Number 2. Yes. Blackout. Have another smoke, cause might as well. Starting to get old crackly. Not the best day in the world for painting, but we still managed to get some shit done. Hopefully I'll even get to do some more. Although for 20 minutes... I seem to have gotten better with the black part of the scratches of the battle damage, but the white under highlight still eludes me. But if I get better at it, I might start adding it to other surfaces as well in the future. Also, the way the genes turned out on this guy, while not exactly what I intended, I think I can replicate this better with just a brush instead of a sponge. Just gotta get a bit worn brush, something that I don't mind destroying, because that'll be a lot of stippling. Brushes don't like stippling. I think I know which one to use for that. Future projects, if I remember. Let's put some more paint. What we can do for what's left. And again, to let anyone hopped on recently, I will restart the uploads to YouTube. Alright, right here. Oh, not on autofocus. We're back to being super thick. Just when I thought I got it already covered. is beyond my comprehension. Okay, well, thicker paint seems to help. Thicker paint also tends to dry. Why this is usually done with an ink? With that being said, I've seen it being done quite a bit with just paint. Pretty doable. It's just my own personal ineptitude. And there we go. One more on this side because it's more visible. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm alright with this. Do I want to go and risk it? On the white? Well, and just mark it. I think, yeah. So then truly what'll be left is just metallics. Hello. Oh, give it a shot. Because you would want to see what's happening. Right. Not bad. as well, but still not too bad. And I did accidentally make try and fix up just the thicker one. Alright, there we go. A little bit of definitely not the best, but it'll do for a little bit of variation in there. Good. Good is good. Now let's just maybe ban these couple of spots that appeared. There we go. Alright. Good with that done. Yep. We are now done for today. So thank you all for joining along, as per usual, for drudging along these Goliaths. I will be back on Wednesday, hopefully, same time, same place. Until then, keep doing what you love and loving what you do, and see you on the flip side. Bye guys.